Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Repurpose Journey. I'm really glad you're here today. If you pressed play because marriage feels quieter than it used to, less dramatic maybe, or less sparkly, less urgent, you're not alone. Maybe nothing is wrong, though, exactly. There's no crisis, no breaking point, no clear problem to fix it, and yet something just might feel different. Conversations are shorter. Evenings fall into predictable patterns. You love each other, but life feels more functional than romantic. Today I want to talk about when marriage feels quiet and routine, not as a problem to solve, but a season to understand. Because quiet doesn't always mean broken, and routine doesn't always mean the love is gone. Sometimes it means you've lasted. We are surrounded by a lot of noise about marriage. Social media highlights anniversaries, surprise trips, date nights, grand gestures, the highlights reels of love. What we don't see very often are the ordinary Tuesdays, the shared grocery lists, the evenings spent folding laundry in silence, the conversations about schedules instead of dreams. Somewhere along the way, many of us absorbed the idea that real love should always feel exciting. But long-term love doesn't survive on spark alone. Spark is wonderful, but it isn't sustainable as the only fuel. What lasts is something quieter. Faithfulness, familiarity, choosing one another again and again, even when nothing thrilling is happening. Routine can feel disappointing if we expect marriage to entertain us. But marriage was never meant to be a performance. It's meant to be a place of presence. Here's something important to say out loud. Quiet does not automatically mean disconnected. Sometimes quiet means you've stopped performing. You feel safe enough to just be. You don't have to fill every moment with words. There's a holy kind of quiet that settles into long relationships. The way two people learn each other so deeply that silence doesn't feel threatening. But quiet can feel heavy when it goes unspoken. When you start wondering, are we okay? Is this all there is? Did I miss something along the way? It's okay to name those questions. God already knows you're thinking them. The danger isn't the quiet. The danger is assuming what it means without talking about it. Marriage doesn't exist in a vacuum. It stretches and adjusts through seasons. Raising children, launching children, busy work years, health challenges, grief, change, aging, unexpected transitions. Some seasons drain emotional energy and some seasons shift priorities. Some seasons simply leave less room for romance. That doesn't mean you failed at marriage. It means you stayed married through real life. For many couples, quiet enters during midlife, and not because love disappeared, but because life demanded so much for so long. And now there's space again, but it feels unfamiliar, even maybe awkward, like standing in a room that used to be noisy and suddenly noticing the silence. Routine can keep a marriage steady, but it also begins to feel like you're living alongside each other instead of with each other. Not because you don't care, but because habits form without intentions. If marriage feels routine, here are a few gentle questions, not for blame, just curiosity. When was the last time we really talked? Not about logistics, but about us. Have we replaced connection with efficiency? Am I expecting my spouse to meet my needs that I haven't shared? Have I stopped inviting them into my inner world? You don't need a dramatic overhaul. Often small moments of attention are far more healing than big gestures. Routines soften when curiosity returns. Throughout Scripture, God shows us in ordinary faithfulness. Ruth gathers grain, Elijah's resting under a tree, and Jesus is eating meals with friends. God doesn't only show up in a mountaintop moments, He is deeply present in the ordinary. Marriage is one of those most ordinary and sacred places love grows. Choosing kindness, again, listening without fixing, offering grace when tired, praying quietly for your partner, even when the words feel awkward. This kind of love rarely looks impressive, but it builds something strong. If you're longing for more in your marriage, let go of the pressure to fix everything. You don't need a relationship reset button. You don't need to recreate early days that belonged in a different season. Instead, invite gentle presence. Sit together without distractions, even briefly. Share one memory from the past. Ask a thoughtful question and really listen. Pray together, even a simple prayer. And laugh about something small. Connection doesn't usually return in fireworks. It returns quietly, like little light creeping into a room. There's freedom in accepting that marriage will have wide, slow seasons. Not every chapter will sparkle. Some chapters exist simply to keep the story going. And that doesn't mean that it's less valuable. It means they're forming something deeper. A marriage that feels quiet may be resting. A marriage that feels routine may be protecting stability. A marriage that feels ordinary may be growing durable love. If your marriage feels quiet and routine, let this be an invitation, not to panic, but maybe just to pause. Ask God what this season is teaching you. Ask yourself what kind of presence you'd like to offer. Trust that love doesn't disappear just because it grows quieter. Sometimes the deepest love speaks softly. Thanks for spending time with me today, and thanks for being willing to sit with the ordinary. Until next time, may you find peace, purpose, and joy right where you are.